Hey friends, happy Halloween! Today, I'm going to be talking about the Hotel Transylvania Saga. I'm going to talk about the movies in order and then rank them at the end. Let's obviously start with the first one. Just like Viacom, Sony is pretty strict about their movie footage, so I'm just going to throw up some gameplay instead. Now, let's get started, shall we? The one that started it all, Hotel Transylvania 1. The one thing that I have to praise for every single movie in this saga is that the animation is amazing. It is super expressive, fluid, and I just love it. It's pretty and cartoony. And I also just find the characters to be really fun and charming. Dracula is great as a protagonist. Yeah, he lies to his daughter Mavis a lot, but you understand why he does so. He wants to protect her and also keep her happy. This just makes him a very likable character, and you can see why he wants to protect Mavis so much. Hey wait, who's this Mavis? Where's Alucard? And this isn't Dracula, this is Dracula. And I would know, because I voice him in May's comic dubs. See each other soon, right? Of course. Sleep well. You too. All jokes aside, this version of Dracula is great. Now, I do have a couple of minor nitpicks about this movie. While this movie is pretty funny sometimes and does have a few jokes that'll catch you off guard, but when a joke misses, it really misses. And it also kind of feels like Dracula and Johnny become friends way too quickly. Johnny just kind of goes from being his angriest at Dracula to having a great time within less than 2 minutes. I don't know, it's a little baffling to me. But overall, Hotel Transylvania was a really fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. The characters are fun, the designs are really cool, the animation is excellent, and the writing is pretty solid here. I'd recommend watching this movie, it's just a lot of fun. In terms of writing and story, I do think that this movie is a bit of a step down from the first, but not by too much. One thing that I've gotta give major props to is the fact that this movie is even more expressive and fluid than the first, and that's already an insane accomplishment. Take a look at both Dennis and Dracula in this shot. The sides of their heads are basically animated like 2D characters, which was also in the first. The camera trickery in this movie is amazing. This is a constant in all 4 movies, but it's especially evident in these first 2. Also, the backgrounds look so nice in this movie. They're so well detailed and really pretty. The story here is just kinda okay. It's a bit repetitive, but I think it's carried a ton by the characters. I do think the jokes have gotten a little bit better in this movie. They're not all good, but there are some really funny lines here. And there are some scenes that just really tickle my broken humor bone. One complaint that I do have is that the big bat guy that works for Vlad is really underwhelming. I wish he was built up a bit more. I also kind of wish that Vlad got a bit more screen time. He doesn't really show up until like the last 20 minutes or so. Just like the first movie, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun and entertaining. Yes, the writing is kind of a downgrade, though I would still really recommend this movie. It's just pretty fun and entertaining.
Murray's going to conjure up the biggest sandstorm.
I'm sorry, but she's in another castle.
Whoa, this movie is actually a bit better than the second movie. The jokes and facial expressions in this one are genuinely really funny at times. Not every joke works, but a few of them gave me quite a chuckle. The underwater scene without the dialogue is really cool. Basically, all the expressions and movements just say it all. It kind of reminds me of the first half hour of WALL-E, to be honest. But I do have one problem with that particular scene. Why does Dracula appear in this photo despite the second movie completely going out of its way to tell us that this isn't possible multiple times? Why did you do this, movie? Okay, back to the positives. I am so glad that Erica was not a twist villain. They immediately revealed that she's the great-granddaughter of Van Helsing. And this was during a point when Disney was obsessed with twist villains, so thank you, Sony Animation. The Kraken's Atlantis song was really catchy, and for some reason his design kind of reminds me of Tamatoa. The dubstep music in the climax is so good, it's super catchy. Though my girlfriend and I still don't understand why the Macarena beats this song. Like, it's an odd music choice, but okay. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It was really good. I'd say it's about a similar quality to the first, but it is better than the second movie. This movie sucks. I'd say the closest quality comparison for this movie is Lightyear. I mean, this movie is better than Lightyear, but is that really a high bar to cross at all? Transylvania is trash. Why does Dracula suddenly hate Johnny again? Isn't this literally his whole arc in the first movie? Though even I can't blame Dracula in this movie because Johnny is super annoying here. I didn't have this problem at all with either of the first three movies, but no, he's just super annoying and obnoxious here. Why? The writing of this movie is so bad. Unlike the first three, I did not laugh at all. This movie is really unfunny. The jokes suck.
I just sent him a gift.
That joke is terrible, but I also have to say, also Kite. There is one question I must answer. Does this film have any positives? Well, actually, surprisingly, yes, it does. I like that Griffin has his red curly hair that he mentioned in the first movie. The climax was somewhat creative. Brian Hull does a decent impression of Adam Sandler. That's really about it. This movie is terrible, 3 out of 10. Despite that sour note that we ended on, this is a pretty good franchise. I really enjoyed it. I'd personally recommend the first 3. They're just really fun, they're super well animated, and I just really like the characters and writing. Skip Transformania though. It's basically on par with Hocus Pocus 2 in terms of character assassination. I'll see y'all later. I hope you liked this video, and happy Halloween.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena.